Meeting of the Board of Public Works. The meeting has been posted and the time is 6:30 p.m. Continue with the roll call. Mayor Joe Chilson.
Here.
Diane Wolf.
Here.
Kim Smith here. Jared Holter.
Here.
Fred Bueller.
Here.
Thank you. Item 2, approval of the minutes from the previous meeting.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Diane Wolf, seconded by Fred Bueller to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is public input. Anyone present who would like to address the committee, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and keep your comments limited to 3 minutes per individual. I'd like to ask for public input. Would anyone like to address the committee? Last chance for public input, if anyone would like to address the committee. Not seeing anyone approach, we'll move on to item 4, the 2020 capital improvement budget. Item A is the public hearing at approximately 6:30 or immediately following the public input, which is now. We will open the meeting to public hearing regarding the 2020 capital improvement projects. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the committee regarding the capital improvement projects? Second call for the public hearing for anyone that would like to have input on the 2020 capital improvement projects. Third and final call for input on the capital improvement projects. Not seeing anyone approach, I will call the public hearing to a close and move on to item B, consideration and possible recommendation and possible action in regards to the 2020 capital improvement projects. Is there anyone from the committee? Fred.
First of all, I'd like to make a comment. Quarles and Brady, from the time we last met until yesterday, they've had a chance to look at these projects, and I'm going to give you the project number and the dollar amount that this project is, that Quarles and Brady has reviewed this list, and the following project numbers and dollar amounts would have to use state trust fund loan versus because it doesn't meet the criteria for bonding. Project number 38, which is squad cars for $117,250. Project number 39 for $55,000, which is squad car unmarked. Project number 40, which is portable radio replacement for $24,000. Project number 54, which is for roof replacement for the entire building at City Hall, $255,750. Project number 55, which is City Hall maintenance upgrades for HVAC and construction, for a total of $30,000. Project number 56, HVAC controls for $3,000. Project 68, which is municipal code ordinance recodification, and project number 69 for compensation study. These items total $542,000.
Can you say that total again, Fred?
$542,000. These will be routed to, what will happen is when the city, as we proceed to move forward, if this list is approved, we'll be doing two things: approving to move forward into the bond market for the balance, and then also procedure to file the application for a state trust fund loan in the amount of $542,000.
Thank you, Fred. Is there any other comments or questions from the committee regarding the capital improvements projects? Fred?
I make a motion that we move the 2020 capital improvement listing to adopt the listing as published with no changes, and move it on to council for borrowing of such funds.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Fred Bueller, seconded by Mayor Joe Chilson, to approve the 2020 capital improvement projects as published and move them on to council. Is there any further questions or comments from the committee? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 5, review and consideration of placing parking restrictions along Putter Court, including public comment. Jared.
So I'll start this off before we allow public comment. We did receive a correspondence and did visit with residents from the Putter Court neighborhood. They did come into the office and voice concerns about parking along Putter Court. In your packet tonight, we have a proposal that would have no parking along 225 feet of Putter Court along the north side of Putter Court, going around the radius to the driveway of 1817 Putter Court. I have included in the packet tonight the letter that went out to the residents abutting that area. I've also distributed 2 pictures that were taken about a month ago, one of 2 cars parked along Putter Court and one with 1 car parked along Putter Court, to give you an idea of what the area looks like. The street in this area was repaved this summer to the width that it was previously. The city did add a asphalt curb to the sides, so when cars park, they are sometimes actually parking a little bit narrower than what the old street was. The street is 27 feet in width, so it is substandard compared to a standard city street, but this is the street that was in this area before it was annexed back in the early 90s. I guess with that background, if anybody has any questions, we can move on to public comment.
Are there any questions or comments from the committee? Not seeing any, I'll ask I see some residents in the audience that are here for this topic. Did any of you want to speak to the committee, or do you feel that we've adequately heard your concerns? If you'd like to speak, come forward. Okay.
Maybe if we could just have a show of hands on who is in favor of
Are you all in
parking?
support of putting the no parking up as described? Is anyone opposed to having the parking as we've described? Okay.
I have had public comment from one of the, through email, that person that could not be here tonight, that they did state that they were opposed to the no parking. I did get that, just wanted to put that into the record.
Okay, and for the record, when I asked the audience the question, the residents in the audience all raised their hand in support of the no parking, and nobody was opposed to it that we know of, other than the one comment in the office that Jared had, right? Diane?
Thank you. So Jared, is the person who was not able to attend, do they live on Putter Court?
They do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Fred?
The only, along that line, Ms. Chair, is the number of residents, if I recall, were 7 residents raised their hand in support of no parking. With that said, I'll make a motion to accept the no parking as outlined and move this on to the A&J for ordinance.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Fred Bueller, seconded by Mayor Joe Chilson.
I have a question.
Sure.
Did any of you, before you came here last night, look in your yard for any of the golf balls that I hit over there? They're all different colors, but I'm teasing.
Okay, so the motion is to accept the no parking restriction and to move this to A&J for construction of the correctly worded. Jared?
I think, for clarification, I think with the new update to the parking rules, that would go to Common Council for final approval, and the parking rules do no longer go to A&J for ordinance approval. Once the council approves it, it's listed as anything that's as posted.
Okay, well, I think that affects what our motion needs to be then. So we'll need to withdraw and restate the motion perhaps, or amend it, one or two.
I'll withdraw my motion.
I'll withdraw my second.
Okay,
But you're saying it's no longer an ordinance requirement?
Correct.
Oh,
Go to council for approval.
okay. Is that what your motion is?
Sure, I'll make that in form of a motion to approve the no parking as shown in our packet, 225 feet on the north side of Putter Court, recommending approval to the common council.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jared. Motion made by Jared, seconded by Mayor Joe Chilson to move this to common council as Jared described. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Yes, ma'am. Yep, I'll turn it over to Jared to describe that
Yep,
process.
so this will be on the council agenda for next Tuesday's council meeting, and then after that, we can schedule a time to get the signage put up, if the council would so approve it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Seven.
PM.
7:30.
7 PM.
7.
Sorry.
Yep, if you choose to, yes, correct. At that meeting, you'd want to give public input at the public input part at the beginning of the meeting. That would be your opportunity to speak at that meeting. Correct.
Right, yep, but if you,
If I see you, I'll motion you up.
yeah, and if you come to that meeting, this is like a working meeting, so we're a little more lax with the rules, but if you wish to speak at that meeting, you'll need to come up during the public input at the beginning of the meeting. That's the only opportunity for public input.
I'll motion you up. So keep an eye on me.
Thank you all for coming in, though, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, did we vote? I don't think we did, okay.
We did, yeah.
Did we or not?
Yes, yes. Yes, because then she stood up and asked
let's vote
what
again.
happens next.
Okay, so we believe we voted in favor of that. Moving
I'm
on.
going to take a safety vote.
Rewind the tape.
That's all right. It has to go to council anyway. Item 6, review and consideration of the soil borings for the Greens Coulee intersection project. Jared?
I'd make a motion to refer to the January meeting. We're still waiting for the quotes.
Okay, thank you. Jared has made a motion to refer it to the January meeting. Is there a second? Who seconded? Joe Chilson, seconded. Jared Holter. Motion by Jared Holter, seconded by Mayor Joe Chilson to refer this to the January meeting. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 7 is review and consideration of professional engineering services for the design of the Greens Coulee intersection project. Jared?
Thank you. We are moving forward with MSA Professional Services. In your packet tonight is their agreement for the project to design the final design of the Green Coulee East Main Street roundabout preferred option. With the design and real estate services, this would come in at $206,415. This is more than what I had originally hoped it would be, but once we got going into this with the box culvert that is under East Main Street and then working with that and having to put a wall in between the two box culverts, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation is requiring more hydraulic analysis than we had first estimated. So it did go up a little bit, but it is relatively close to what we had originally envisioned. We have budgeted for this within the 2018, 19, and 2020 capital improvements. So we do have enough money to cover this design. We are hoping to start this design after the first of the year and then move forward with design in the spring of 2020, moving it into the summer, and then hopefully bidding out this project in the fall of 2020 or early winter of 2020 to get it started right away in 2021. So staff's recommendation is to move forward with MSA.
Thank you, Jared. Is that a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve MSA for the final design of the Green Cooley East Main Street intersection design at a total cost of $206,415.
Second. Oops.
Thank you. Motion by Jared Holter, seconded by Joe Chilson, to move forward with the final design for the Greens Cooley intersection project with the MSA for an amount of $206,415. Fred?
Jared, has legal counsel had a chance to review the agreement?
Before it gets executed, we'll have them, city attorney, review the agreement and make sure it meets all their guidelines.
Before council?
We can do that.
Diane?
Thank you. Jared, quick question. Did we bid this out or not?
Yeah, we actually had the conceptual design. We had 4 firms, I think, that submitted. So this was the continuation from conceptual design. Then we kind of went into a preliminary design where we made a decision between the signal, traffic signal, and the roundabout. And this would be for the final design. This would actually be,
Continuing.
this would be bidding documents, specifications to bid out for the project, and it also the coordination with the Wisconsin DOT on the project.
Okay, thank you. I think it's been so long, I just couldn't remember, but yeah, it's coming back to me now. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Jared, seconded by Mayor Joe Chilson. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 8 is review and consideration of WIN LLC fiber installation along 12th Avenue South and County Road SS. Jared?
WIN currently has fiber within city right-of-ways. This would be an extension of their main trunk line that goes along Interstate 90 for service down 12th Avenue South to Double S and then down Double S to our westerly city limit line. Staff has reviewed this. Does appear to be in order. I'd make a motion that we approve the WIN fiber installation along 12th Avenue Double S with the condition that the DOT conditions that were given to the project are also stipulated by the city.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Jared Holter, seconded by Diane Wolf. Under discussion, this is at no cost to the city, is that correct?
Correct. That would be at no cost to the city. The permit's revocable, and if there's any work in the right-of-way that the city would need to do, they need to move it at their cost. That's all part of the permit conditions.
Thank you, I just wanted that in for the record. Any further questions or discussion on the motion on the floor? Okay. The motion is to approve the WIN WIN LLC fiber installation along 12th Avenue South, County Road SS, you taking the DOT conditions into effect at no cost to the city. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Number 9 is review and consideration of the Sustainable Lacrosse Commission report. The commission did not meet this month, so I have no report. Item 10, review and consideration of the soil borings for the Greens Cooley Reservoir project. Jared?
The SEH is our consultant on this project. They did try and procure soil boring quotes from 2 different local soil boring firms, one being Braun Intertech and one being Chosen Valley Testing. Chosen Valley Testing, we have had them before, but they did not have the equipment to get up on the bluff to take the soil borings, so we were limited to one firm quoting. Their quote was for $16,800. It does appear to be in order, and staff would recommend that we approve the quote for $16,800 for the soil borings at the Greens Cooley Reservoir site.
Thank you, Jared. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Jared Holter, second by Diane Wolf to move forward with the Greens Cooley Reservoir project soil borings at a cost of $16,800. Any further discussion? Jared?
We'll also have the attorney review the agreement to make sure it's in order before the council meeting.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 11, review and consideration of change order number 1 for the 2019 miscellaneous concrete project. Jared?
In your packet tonight is change order number 1 for the 2019 miscellaneous concrete project. Item A is the largest item of the total, and what staff did here was, as you know, the Troy Street project actually took longer than what was anticipated. We were running into a point where the construction was working against the weather conditions, and the contractor, general contractor on that project, was having difficulties getting a concrete installation crew into the city to finish the concrete installation of the driveways and the sidewalk along that project. So city staff worked under this contract and had the sidewalk and a lot of the driveways put in. Some of them were still put in by the main 2019 utility project general contractor's subcontractor, but it was a team effort to get the work done. So $34,135.30 of this is actually work that will be deleted from the 2019 utility project. So even though this looks like a large amount, it's actually work that's going to come off one contract and go on to another. So we were really happy. Kevin worked very diligently trying to get all that concrete in before winter. Really took a lot of work, and Kevin trying to think outside the box to try and get it done. So it was kudos to him to get that work done. We do have a couple other things. We did go over on the 4-inch placement of citywide sidewalk in the amount of $7,705.50 in item B. We did install some concrete medians at the islands at 35 on item C. And then we also did, with the contractor for Fowler and Hammer, mitigate an overpayment on the project that was on the Irvin Street. So that way we can square up both contracts at the same time. So overall, the net increase in the change order was $38,487.07, but as I said, the majority of that is from work that will be deleted from the other project.
I'll make a motion to approve change order number 1 to Fowler and Hammer, Inc. in the amount of $38,487.07.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Diane, seconded by Mayor Joe Chilson to approve change order 1 for the 2019 miscellaneous concrete project. Yes.
Just one clarification on item A for the 2019 utility project. The reason this came about is the original concrete subcontractor for that project, I'll say bailed on the project 2 days before we were going to have them. They had honestly admitted they had forgotten it was on their books, and when we went to call them, they said they could not perform the work. So the general contractor worked very diligently to find a replacement contractor this fall. That replacement contractor, in my opinion, did excellent work to help us out, but still could not fit in the requirements of this project under their existing work, so that's why we brought in Fowler and Hammer under our miscellaneous concrete project.
Okay. Thank you for the information, and for the record, those comments were from City Engineer Kevin Schubert. Any other questions or comments? Okay then, all those in favor of approving change order 1 for the miscellaneous concrete projects, please say aye.
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 Those opposed say no. Okay, item 12, review and consideration of change order number 1 for the 2019 Abbey Road reconstruction project.
Included in your packet tonight is change order number 1 for the Abbey Road project. This does have a variety of items that we did install during the project. Item A is additional 8-inch concrete driveway that was installed. We did install larger driveways for Quick Trip and for Modern Crane and Valley Cartage. It ended up being more areas than we actually thought we would be installing. We also, under item B, had the fence. We thought we could salvage the fence, but once the fence contractor got in and tried salvaging it, it was not salvageable, so we installed a new fence along the easement where the storm sewer goes out to US Highway 53. Add epoxy painting of the median islands for visibility. Saw cut a driveway into the park site. We also took over 2 existing 30-inch storm sewer mains running from Abbey Road out to ponding areas that were full of sediments. We had the contractor clean them out. Insulated area of water main where the storm sewer was crossing, and also relocated a water service So those all came to a grand total of $42,723 even. Those funds would be within the 2019 capital improvement project funding.
Okay, thank you, Jared.
I'll make a motion to approve the change order number 1 in the amount of $42,723 to Gerke Excavating, Inc. For the 2019 Abbey Road reconstruction items.
Okay, motion was by Diane Wolf. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Fred Bueller to approve the change order number 1 for Abbey Road. Is there further discussion, Fred?
Question, Jared, were any of these charges be able to recoup through special assessments?
Some of those were with the Quick Trip driveway and because that was the only one that was actually accessible. The rest of them had the fee that we had where we used an average of costs because they weren't within the township, or they weren't within the city, they were in the township.
Any further questions or comments? Okay. All those in favor of approving the change order 1 for the Abbey Road reconstruction project, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 13 is review and consideration of change order 1 for the Crestwood Booster Station project. Jared?
In your pack tonight is change order number 1. This does include a change order for plumbing and site utility requirements from the Wisconsin DNR plan review. We did bid out the project before we received final plan review, so once we did get that final plan review, we had some alterations that had to be made. Those alterations are actually attached as part of the change order tonight, but those changes came to $13,087.52, and we were required to do those changes in order to get the DNR approval to install the booster station.
And that was for Olympic Builders?
Olympic Builders, correct.
Thank you. Was that a motion?
That's in the form of a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion by Jared, seconded by Fred Bueller to approve change order number 1 for the Crestwood Booster Station project. The net increase is $13,087.52. The contractor is Olympic Builders. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 14, pay estimates, Strand Associates, Short Elliott Hendrickson Incorporated, Matthew Construction, Gerke Excavating, Davy Engineering, MSA Professional Services, Olympic Builders, Fowler and Hammer, A1 Excavating, HSR Associates, All American Lumber, and any other contractor or developer. Jared, is there an update for that, or is that the complete list?
We are recommending the 16 estimates you see in your packet tonight. The only change that we would offer is under number 14 for Fowler and Hammer. That should actually be a negative 4664.73, so that should have parentheses around it with a negative.
Thank you. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve monthly estimates, item number 14 in our packet, dated December 13th, 2019, items 1 through 16, with the one correction that Jared noted. Number 14 should be a negative figure.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Motion was Diane Wolf, seconded by Fred Bueller. Any other discussion? Fred?
Jared, are any of these projects finalized out?
The miscellaneous concrete and the streetscaping should be finalized out. Abbey Road, I think, is the final estimate.
What numbers?
Yeah.
Could we get the number?
Project is final.
Which numbers?
So number 6, number 3,
14, 15.
those would be the only ones at this time. We'll be collecting lien waivers and submitting them before final payment.
Thank you. Excuse me, can we go back to number 14? Number 14 is final, so we're going to
Correct.
send a bill, or what?
We'll subtract it from what we owe them on 15.
Okay.
When I get the estimates, I'll have that noted for you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor of approving the pay estimates in our packet dated December 3rd with the corrections as mentioned, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 15 is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn at 7:01.
Second.
Motion by Diane Wolf, seconded by Joe Chilson. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. We are adjourned, 7:01.